What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on Pure Panorama. As you can see, we have the hood popped on the truck, just got home, and this video is going to be about 3 mods for under $50 that I think are good for a second gen Cummins owner like myself. So there's a few of these types of videos circulating around on YouTube right now, like 3 mods under $100 and things like that, and I think that that is a great idea to do. And I want to do a series of $50, $100, $500, $1,000, so on and so forth, for different mods for a second gen 24 valve Cummins owner. Now obviously some of these aren't gonna be necessarily in order of which you should get them in, because we know that right off the bat there are certain mods that you want to do to these 24 valve Cummins trucks as soon as you get them, as in installing an aftermarket lift pump like a fass or an airdog. You definitely want to get yourself some gauges, and one of these mods that I list off as a mod for $50 or less actually is a mod that will complement another mod that will come later on in the series. So we're gonna just jump right into it, and here we go. The first thing that I'm gonna tell you that for $50 or less is something that you definitely would want to do on your 24 valve Cummins truck is a Big Honkin Air Filter. Do away with that stock air box and put this Big Honkin Air Filter on your truck. It will definitely allow you to get far more airflow into the turbo and to the truck, and for under $50 you can't go wrong. It's not a real cold air intake. You're still going to be sucking some warm air. You will get some cold air up through the fender still to the Big Honkin Air Filter, but you're still going to be getting a lot of warm air from your engine compartment because it's not boxed off like a real cold air intake is. But you are going to get far better air supply to your engine and the truck with this Big Honkin Air Filter. So for under $50, do yourself a favor, get yourself some more airflow to the truck, and you won't be disappointed. So while we're in the area of the Big Honkin Air Filter, we have the BD Diesel Pps Noise Isolator, and now what this does is it grounds out right down here onto your fender, and it plugs, or it wiretaps into your computer down here. And what it does is it helps to get rid of the noise from your throttle position sensor, your accelerator pedal position sensor, your APPS, and what that does is gets rid of the hunting between your overdrive, and clears up your transmission issue. So if you are driving along and you notice that your truck is going in and out of overdrive, that is because it's hunting and you're getting a noise interference from your throttle position sensor. Now, as a little bonus, what I did on my truck was I took there's a ground wire that runs over here through by the alternator, and you can get interference from that as well. So what I did, you can see right here, this is the ground that I'm talking about, is I traced that back all the way down through this loom in this harness, and it comes out right here. I undid all of this, separated all the radiator hose for the thermostat housing and stuff, and I pulled that ground wire out back here, put a fresh piece of wire loom on it, and I still need to see if I can get a little bit more slack in it so that I can reroute it a little bit nicer. But I ran it up over the fan shroud, down the top of my radiator and around the coolant overflow jug, and then plugged it back in, and that helps also to get rid of some noise interference and stuff like that, and just helps you with the shifting and keeping your transmission shifting the way that it should. The last modification for under $50 that I'm going to tell you about, and this is the one that I mentioned would complement another mod on the truck that we will get to later, because the mod that it complements is a pretty pricey one. But the Big Line fuel kit for these 24 valve Cummins is just a good mod for under $50, and what that does is it hooks up to the bottom of your fuel filter housing, your stock fuel filter housing, and then hooks up into your VP44 injection pump, and it gets rid of that little dinky stock fuel line between the two of those spots and allows you to have more sufficient fuel flow from there, and it eliminates some of that fuel flow restriction that would come from having that little stock fuel line in there. Now it does come with a T in it for a fuel pressure gauge, so obviously if you don't have your gauges yet, you wouldn't want to use that, or you'd want to get a little plug to plug that off until you do get your gauges. And the mod that this complements more so is having an aftermarket lift pump. So if you put a fass or an airdog onto your 24 valve Cummins and you're getting that good fuel pressure off of that lift pump, this big line fuel kit is going to free up the restrictions from that little stock fuel line between the fuel filter housing and the VP44, so that the good pressure off of your aftermarket lift pump has just no restriction, can flow nice and freely right up into that VP44 and keep that VP44 injection pump happy, lubricated, cooled off with that good fuel flow. As you know, this is what I was installing on the 24 valve Cummins in the last video, and this 90-degree push lock fitting snapped when my wrench slipped. So I do have new fittings coming in the mail. I got some extra hose. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and remake this whole thing, and we will get this on the truck. That stuff should be here, I think, hopefully by like Thursday or Friday, so you can look forward to getting that on the truck here and having that video out showing you that by the weekend. So they say that this big line kit is to complement an aftermarket lift pump and help free up the restrictions by getting rid of that stock fuel line between the fuel filter and the VP44 injection pump. But even if you have just bought your 24 valve Cummins and don't have a lift pump on it yet, or gauges, like I said, you can plug that T off so you can just open it back up and plug your gauges in when you get them. But if you don't have the lift pump yet, this still wouldn't be a bad idea to put on your truck, so that you can still open that up and still know that you have good fuel flow to the VP44. Because let's face it, anything and everything that you can do to keep that VP44 happy, even leading up until the point of getting a lift pump, is good. So if you've got one of these 24 valve Cummins trucks and you're saving up to get a lift pump but you don't quite have it yet, and you want to kind of start setting your truck up and getting ready for the installation of your lift pump, then I highly recommend getting this this big line fuel kit and putting it on the truck, because it's definitely not going to hurt, and then it's all set and ready to go for when you get that fass or airdog installed on your 24 valve Cummins. One last little bonus mod that I will give you guys for under $50 are a pair of LED headlights. I have the auxbeam F16 LED headlight bulbs, and I gotta tell you guys, you can see them in there inside the housings. They are phenomenal headlights. If you are living out in the country on back roads, traveling where there's animals, deer, any of that stuff, wildlife that you got to look out for, and you just want to be able to light up the roads at night and be able to see where you're going, then a pair of these headlights for $50 is a must. We all know that the stock headlights on these trucks are not the brightest, and most everybody goes and switches them out, changes the headlight housings, changes the bulbs and everything, and those auxbeam bulbs are 50 bucks and they are just awesome lights. So if you're looking for better visibility at night, then that is, there you go, a little bonus for under $50 that you can do to your truck to help you see at night, especially if you live out in the country, like I said, and you travel those back roads and you got to look out for wildlife. You got to get yourself a set of those light bulbs. But that is it for this one. I just wanted to do a quick 3 that I thought were good good little starter mods to get onto your 24 valve Cummins and get you rolling right after you get it, because let's face it, most everybody wants to do something with their truck as soon as they get it, but a lot of mods are pretty pricey and expensive, and gauges and lift pump, we know, are definitely 2 of the first things you should do to get yourself better fuel flow and be able to monitor your EGTs and your fuel pressure and all that. But those get a little bit pricey, and like I said, we're gonna go on up and do mods under 100 bucks, under 500 bucks, under 1,000, so on and so forth. And they're not going to be any specific order. We already know orders of things that you should do, but if you're looking for just a few quick things for under 50 bucks just to be able to do something with your new truck, then I highly recommend these things that I just listed. The Big Honkin Air Filter will definitely let her breathe better and get her some more air supply. That BD Diesel Pps Noise Isolator, to just, even if you don't have the hunting between your overdrive or on your overdrive in your transmission, it can't hurt to throw that on there to ensure that you never do have to experience it or get that. and that big line kit for your fuel filter up to the VP44 to make sure that you have as little fuel restrictions as possible. Even if you don't have a lift pump on the truck yet, it can't hurt to do that. And then as a bonus, if you want better visibility, go ahead and get yourself a pair of those auxbeam F16 LED headlight bulbs because they're awesome. So if you can do me a favor on your way out and hit that thumbs up button, it really does help the channel grow. It helps get the videos recommended to new people so that we can hopefully draw some new subscribers into the channel. If you are stopping into the channel for the first time, you're new here, hit that subscribe button because we just had a big old hiccup with the fuel system on the truck. We got that all patched up for right now. We got some new parts coming in the mail, so we will get that big line kit installed on it. We have some other parts coming in the mail this week too that well, you'll see what that is when they get here. And we've got plenty of stuff left to do with this, getting ready for a VP44 install, getting ready for ball joints, front end work to finish all that up, and plenty of other stuff. It never stops. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. So I did get this fuel leak all patched up for right now. Where your fuel line attaches to your VP44, you have these two crush washers. You can see the one right there between the banjo bolt and the actual fuel line. So there is another one that goes between the fuel line and the VP44. But if you look down in there, you'll see a little brown O-ring that I took off of the AN fitting for the new big line kit. So we replaced that one crush washer with that O-ring for right now. Got everything sealed up while we wait for our new parts to come in. We got two new 90-degree fittings coming, some more hose, and we're gonna get that big line kit on the truck here very soon. There also is a plan in the works, something I'm not gonna tell you when or if it's happening, but there could be a possible fuel filter housing delete coming your way soon, because I'm sick of that damn stock fuel filter housing. And let's just face it, we're doing a new VP44 on the truck, and I want to make sure that that thing gets all the damn diesel fuel. I just want to keep